Okay, John, what do we have here?
All right, here we go.
Go ahead, that's fine.
This is my Boxer. It's a late model 1983 512 BBI. Now, a lot of you people that may be watching this video that are saying, what in the world does 512 BBI mean? It merely means the motor's a 5-liter, 12-cylinder. The Berlinetta refers to the hard top, and the I is the fuel injection. Now, about 1,007 of these cars were made during 1982 and 1984, roughly. Now, I have to believe that many of them have left the country and are now residing in somebody's personal collection somewhere on the other side of the world. I've got to believe also that a lot of these cars have probably been destroyed for one reason or another. All that to say that this is a very rare car. I mean, it was rare when they first made them. And now especially it's rare. I never see them on the roads. I never see them being driven. I never saw them being driven when they were new. So what you have here is a very rare car. I actually acquired this car in February of 1998. At that time it had about 18,000 miles on it. 14 years later, it has a little less than 20,000 miles on it. So in that 14 years, I've only put 2,000 miles on this car.
Wow.
If any of you watching this have ever had the pleasure of driving one of these monsters, you know what a thrill it is to drive, but you also learn real quick that there's other people on the road that just have to get right up behind you or alongside of you, see what kind of a car is it, or who's the celebrity driving it. I've always been concerned for this car's safety, and I remember just shortly after I bought the car, I immediately went out and built a special garage for it so that I would know that it's safe. It's always been covered, it's always been garaged. Once a week I will come out just to start the car up, to heat it up, to get all the fluids moving around where they should be. Then I'll back it out to turn the tires, then I'll bring it back in the garage and cover it up again until the next week when I repeat the process. This car is actually what I think a Ferrari should be all about. It's got very stiff suspension, very stiff steering, very stiff clutch, and gobs of torque. Now, its successor was the Testarossa. Testarossa is exactly opposite. It's soft, it's gentle, it's quiet, and it's easy to drive. And for that reason, I've always preferred a Boxer. I have always loved this car from the very minute I bought it. Obviously, I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't love it. But I've come to the point now where I've had to make a very sad decision that the car has to move on. It has to go to a younger person who will drive it the way it deserves to be driven. I am getting older, and when you get to be my age, you never know what the next day holds. So my wish would be that whoever takes this car will always treat it as gently and caringly as I did. That would be my hope. If you have any questions, ask Dave, or Dave can't give you a satisfactory answer, he can ask me, and I can answer the questions for you.
Super. Thank you, John. 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay, John, pull up the door for me, will you,
Yep.
please?
Now,
I can see you have a blanket down there to take care of
and there's a reason, but I can certainly take it out.
Awesome. Because you take care of it.
Yes, I do. Now those those aren't the original carpets. I've taken those out, I've wrapped them up, and I've stored them under my bed. Over the years, I didn't want them to get scuffed up or harmed in any way. So I had these made for the floors, and even with these, when I know I'm going to get into the car, I put a towel down to protect these. See if...
Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, there's not even a scuff on it.
No.
Like a rocket. And how many miles are on this?
Well, a little less than 20, 19 and change, 19,260 roughly.
Let's pop open the engine. Okay, John, can you pop the engine?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Now here you can see that I've actually replaced the material that covered the inside of these air boxes with a very high-tech heat-resistant material. They get so hot back here, it tends to burn the padding away.
Wow.
It won't burn this away. I also spent a lot of money on a special exhaust system built for it that includes the cats, in addition to the muffler, of course.
Oh, I see. Who's worked on this for you?
The last 14 years have been only one mechanic that's ever touched this car. He's a perfectionist, and he's got the file on this car that a complete history of everything we've done to this car over the last 14 years. And so, you know, should anybody want to see any of that, you know, it's always available. But it's only been one person, and one person only, I have allowed to touch this car.
You take a peek on it on this side.
Okay.
It's like a brand new vehicle.
Yeah, it's a neat car.
And how many horsepower is it?
Oh, 360. Nothing like, you know, the 600, 700, 800, 1,000 horsepower of today's cars, but it has got so much torque that it will spin the back end around if you're not careful. It's more car than most people will ever be able to drive.
Wow. And they only made 1,000 something?
Made 1,000. And as I said, who knows how many are left now in the States, maybe half of that.
Yeah.
People just don't drive them. Can you imagine something happening to the car, getting hit or something?
Mm-hmm. Okie doke, fired up. Well, my name is Dave Henry, and if anybody cares to please give me a call and make an offer on this fine Ferrari, I'd sure appreciate it. My cell phone is 805-705-4924. That's 805-705-4924. And if you care to visit my website, it is spokemotors.com. That's spoke, S-P-O-K-E, motors, M-O-T-O-R-S.com. Thank you very much for looking.